This is Ron here with Top Dollar Trucking, part two of why I believe you don't need to use a dispatch service. You can get your own loads, and you should get your own loads. So remember to go to my website, www.topdollartrucking.com. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and all that. So when you subscribe to YouTube, you give us a like, and that way when we upload a video, you will be first alerted that we've added another video. And so make sure you remember to share it with all your truck driver friends and truck driver girls that's out there. And make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram and all that good stuff. And because I guarantee you won't be disappointed. Remember to sign up for some of our training courses. I guarantee you to help you and educate you. So look, this is part two of dispatching services. Why I really believe that they are nothing more than just a ripoff. I don't really believe that. I've heard too many stories. I've heard too many stories rather about why a lot of guys, the bad experiences that they've had with them. I'm quite sure that there are a few good ones out there. I don't necessarily mean all of them are ripoff, but just so many of these dispatch services, they are flooding the game, flooding the market when 99.5% of them have never driven a truck. So with that said, you got to keep in mind, and this is my point of why I say I don't use them, and I don't recommend people to use them, because you're trusting a dispatcher service. I'm gonna kind of go off of some of my notes that I jotted down, some pointers that I want to give you guys why I don't use them and why I don't recommend them. You're trusting a dispatcher to negotiate on your behalf when you can negotiate your own loads. Because anytime when you're dealing with a dispatch service, you got to keep in mind, you got to trust that they have negotiated for the best rate. And most people out here don't even realize that they can negotiate for a higher rate. I've had people write comments and call me and say, I didn't even know that you could negotiate for a higher rate. I just thought you were supposed to take what was offered. So keep in mind, if you got a dispatch service out there that's booking your loads, are they even negotiating for the highest rate? Do you even know? How do you know? That's why I say it's best for you to do it yourself. Then point number two, you know why I say I don't like to use a dispatch service? Case in point, just say that dispatch service goes away, or you get tired of dealing with them and don't like their service for whatever reason. That broker has been going through that dispatch service when it should have been you building the relationship yourself with that broker. Why? Because when the dispatch service goes away, they don't know you. They don't have a relationship with you. They have a relationship with that dispatch service. So if they need any future loads move, who do you think they're going to call? They're going to call the dispatch service, not you. Why? Because you have not built up a relationship with them. That's why my phone always rings off the hook, because I've taken the time to grow my business myself, and I built up the relationship with the brokers myself. I've had people, man, since the beginning of our company, the start of our company several years ago, still called me. Like, man, hey, Ron, you remember when you did these loads for us back? It may have only did a few of them 2, 3, 4 years ago. They'll call me back, man, you did a great service for us. Things really got slow, whatever the case. Can you do some more loads for us? We lost this account and we got this account back. Now think about it. What if that had been a dispatch service? They was going to be calling them back to try to get them to find some trucks. When it should have been you, they should have been calling, because you the one got the truck and you the one that's been hauling their loads, not the dispatch service. All the dispatch service is just a middleman. So get the middleman out the way and do your own negotiating and build a relationship. That's why I say don't use a dispatch service, because you need to be building that relationship. And then that way, as you learn and develop more confidence in this business, and you can have a straight door, open door relationship with that broker, and you can, hey, look, that ain't enough for that load. Well, rates done went up, the fuel done went up, and you don't know if that dispatch service doing all that. He may quote unquote tell you he's doing it, but you don't know. It's better if it's coming out of your mouth versus relying on what somebody else is just telling you. Okay, so I think you got that. You're trusting a dispatch service to negotiate on your behalf when they don't even know what they're doing themselves. Think about it. A lot of these dispatch services, I've even heard some of them say, hey, man, unless you got X, Y, Z amount of trucks, you don't need a dispatch service. I'm telling you the straight up facts. I had dispatch service call me all the time. Look, thank you anyway. We don't need it. We got our own freight. We got our own loads. We got brokers that call us. I don't tell them all of that. But what I'm saying is, I don't need your services, because why would I put you in the place of me and negotiating on my behalf? I want to know, because there's a lot of questions with people that have never driven a truck, don't know anything about the industry. There are a lot of questions they don't even know to ask that I know as a truck driver. Hey, Is this facility safe to go in? Do they have a dock? What's the detention? What's the wait? How long is it going to take for them to load me and unload me? What is the facility like? Do they even have a proper place to bag up to? I've been in places where people have gotten stuck. I've almost gotten stuck. So you know what? I know not to go there again. And so when you got a dispatcher relying on, you're relying on dispatch service, they don't know that if you've been to that place, a place you may not want to go back again. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I say you need to build your relationship with these brokers yourself. Point number 3, when you hire dispatch service to talk on your behalf to the broker, you don't know as a driver, what is the worth you're setting yourself up. See, you don't even know what's the worth of that load. See, that most of those dispatchers, they don't know the worth of that load. So when you're dealing with a broker, most of them brokers, they don't even know the value or the worth of that load. And so by me being in the industry so long, I know, hey, look, they call me on a particular load, what's the commodity, this and this and that. Well, hey, how far is it going? And, just by asking those simple questions, I can tell the value of that load. I can tell what's in that load, how much money is in that load. I can tell if it's worth my time or not, because I'm not going to haul every load. If that load don't have enough money in it, I'm not going to fool with that load. And so that's what you got to understand, guys, that while you're using a dispatch service, that money that you're paying a service for, you're going to be putting that back into your revenue, your savings account, building up your revenue in case of a future breakdown, what you're going to have. So you might well get that out your mind. Whatever the case may be, you got to realize that you need to be putting back as much money as possible in a savings in the event that when you have a breakdown, you'll be ready to get right back up as soon as possible without a loan. And you got to understand the value. Do you know your value? Do you know your worth? Because a lot of times guys out here, they driving, they running this freight, they don't even know the value of, themselves. You're running a business, and a lot of guys don't understand, they don't even understand the value of themselves. You're no longer driving for nobody, you're driving for yourself. So why you have your business in the hands of someone else when you need to be establishing yourself with these customers, these brokers, and so forth, on and on? And that's one of the things that I find so many people don't know. They don't realize that this is something that they need to be doing. And when you relying on a dispatch service, hey, you're hurting your own self. You're shooting your own self in the foot. So look, I'm going to stop this one. I'm at 8 minutes. I'm going to do a part 3. And like I said, I might have to go all the way to part 5 because there's a lot of great information I want to tell you guys about why you need to be getting your own loads and negotiating your own loads for yourself. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to do a part 3.